This week on This is America and the World, we continue our focus on the experiences and needs of military veterans. I'll be speaking with Leah Hernandez from Clarksville, Tennessee, and later in the program, Emi Saegusa-Beecroft in Hawaii. Both of our guests are caregivers who are supporting their severely injured veteran husbands. Leah Hernandez, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How
Can
are you?
I call you Leah? Is that all right? Or Mrs. Hernandez?
No, Leah's fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you. How's the day going so far?
Busy.
So what is
great.
busy? What is busy? What have you been doing?
Recently, today, it's the gym. My husband has in his mind that he is going to lose his COVID weight, and we are in and out of working out whenever we can.
Husband's name is Wesley?
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us. Are there more than the two of you in your family?
Yes. I got a 15-year-old, Jaden.
Oh, how's Jaden doing?
He's doing good. This last year has been tough for him. He's been sick. He was diagnosed with sarcoidosis, uveitis. So it suppresses his immune system and makes him really susceptible to catching anything. Yeah. But he's got his vision, so we're blessed.
Wow. God bless him. That's a tough go for a teenager. God bless him. And your husband, tell me a little bit about Wesley.
Wesley has severe PTSD and was diagnosed with a moderate brain injury in 2013.
Served in the Army, am I correct?
Yes. He was in for 10 years.
And what rank was he when he was retired?
He retired as an E5, which is a sergeant.
Mm-hmm. And where did he serve?
Fort Campbell was pretty much his home. So he was with the 5th Special Forces Group. He was attached to them. And then he deployed 3 times with them. And then we PCS'd to Germany. And he was with the 173rd. And they shut that base down right after he came back from Afghanistan. And they forced us to Vicenza, to Italy.
What caused his injuries and how did you learn about that?
I knew that he had PTSD when he came, when we met. I could tell, just knowing the signs and being around the military my whole life. I knew that he had some signs of PTSD. He just wasn't willing to accept it at that point. It wasn't until he went downrange for that 4th deployment. He was involved in a blast, and that was pretty much, that was it. Yeah.
So that resulted in some brain injury as well, huh?
The blast is what caused the brain injury, but we didn't know that he sustained any injuries until he was actually in the WTU at Fort Belvoir. So he was sent to the WTU because of some injuries.
What do those initials mean, WTU?
The Warrior Transition Battalion.
Okay.
So if you have an injury, not all times, but a lot of times they'll pull you from the unit that you're with and they'll put you in a Warrior Transition Battalion, which, because of circumstances that I cannot really discuss, they pulled him from the unit and sent him. So they couldn't offer him the proper care that he needed downrange. Like in Italy, they couldn't offer him the proper care. So they sent him to Fort Belvoir.
Okay. So both with your husband, so what kind of treatment does he get on a regular basis, he himself?
So weekly, he sees a therapist that we've set up and established a great relationship with. He does art therapy with Ola downtown in Clarksville, and their relationship has been amazing. He sees him twice a week. We see the VA for pretty much all his medical care, but he's also connected to Fort Campbell through here, and he's received his TBI treatment through Fort Campbell.
How has boy, with your husband and your son, it's I can tell, that alone makes for a busy life. How has it been for you as, the phrase is easy to come to mind, caregiver, but
Mhm.
that's what your lot is right now. How are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, it's a struggle. I'm busy. They keep me on my toes.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's hard. It's hard. A lot of people don't get it. Um, I don't want to get emotional. I take some time for myself every day.
Hmm. It's okay to feel. Yeah, that's okay.
I'm good
Uh,
at drink.
yeah. Go for it. Um, when you say a lot of people don't get it, help us get it.
Um, People look at you like, okay, you're at home, you're not working, you've got time, you don't have to go to a job, you're not held down to anything, you're not tied down. And it's like my days consist of waking up at 5:30 so I can find time for me to sit and I don't want to say to be by myself, to meditate, to breathe, to not do anything while he's sleeping, get my son moving, figure out the day, plan what's for breakfast, plan what's for lunch, plan what's for dinner, meal prep if I need to, because we have appointments, because Jaden can't cook, because Wesley can't cook. If I've got something to do for myself, if I've got appointments and Wesley isn't with somebody, then I have to make sure that he is taken care of. So it's just a lot of planning. So you have to take time to like think things through. So I take that time in the morning for myself to just get up and plan, and then look at the schedule and get everybody moving. So I don't know if I answered your question or if I just got beside myself.
So this is a kind of a odd and tough question for me to ask.
That's okay.
But on a scale of 0 to 10, how hard is it?
Uh, a 7,
Wow.
a 7. I make it look easy. It's
Yeah.
what I'm told. I make it look easy. But I'm quick to tell people I don't have it put together. As you could tell, I don't have it put together.
Uh-huh.
I can be a mess. I can fall apart. But I keep myself as put together as I can, because if I don't, then who's going to take care of them?
Yeah.
They'll fall apart if I fall apart.
Yeah. That's an awful lot of. I don't like to use the word responsibility, but that's an awful lot on your shoulders, huh?
You don't like responsibility. I don't like burden.
Burden.
I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, that's a lot of burden, and it's like it's not really a burden, but I guess you could say.
I guess it is.
Well, you you're like, okay, you don't have time. It's like, no, I don't.
You're blessed with a wonderful laugh and smile and sense of humor.
Yes.
Ooh, choked up myself. How does that get you through? Huh?
I'm a kind of person, I find it's very easy to find the negative in everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's too easy.
Yeah.
But I don't really look at things in a negative way. I try to look at the positive side. I think I'm a great person. I met my husband just a month before we got married, and it was kind of a really fast thing. But here we are, 10 and a half years later.
Wow.
And honestly, like, we were meant to be. Like, it was meant. There is not anybody else that would put up with some of the stuff it is that he's got. And it just, I don't know, it just really, it was meant to be.
How about the Wounded Warrior Project folks? How have they helped?
They've been amazing.
Tell me.
We met WWP at Fort Belvoir. They were there to help Wesley through the med board process. And his med board process is how they discharge him out of the military. So they basically looked over all the documents and made sure that everything was in line. And if he needed, different wording or connection or communication, or they didn't feel like he was being given something he should have, they were there to help support. They supported us on a lot of retreats and events and stuff like that to just kind of keep people connected. And then when we got here, they put him in the Independence program through Wounded Warrior Project. So we connected with them. And Wounded Warrior Project's actually the reason that I have my connection to my personal self-care, which is through CrossFit. So they've been there a lot, a huge support for us, huge.
We're coming at the end of our time, which is not fair to to you or to me. Give us a last thought. What do you want folks to take away from your experience and what you can offer as a caregiver?
It's a blessing to be able to take care of a veteran. It's a blessing to be able to take care of your husband. And be there to support them. It's not easy. It's by far easy, but it is a blessing. And my hat's off to anybody and everybody who has to do it, because I know the struggle. And the next time you see someone, just thank them. I think that's what we lack the most is just the thanks. I'm sure you can hear my dogs.
I was going to mention that. It's dogs plural.
So in my husband's brain injury, impulsivity is a big thing, and it's because my husband is home. But in his impulsivity, he purchased two puppies.
What kind? What brand?
I have a golden doodle, a golden retriever, and then he has a service dog who's a golden retriever.
Is he just coming home now?
Yeah, he went to the gym. They'll stop now. He's in.
Welcome home.
He said he can't.
I'll tell him, welcome home.
You're supposed to be able to hear them.
Thank you, Leah. Leah Hernandez, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye now. Underwriting for This Is America and the World is made possible by the Japan-America Society of Washington, D.C., the National Association for Children of Addiction, Faces and Voices of Recovery, the Forerunner Foundation, the Rotondaro Family Trust, the Republic of Uzbekistan, the Sultanate of Oman, the Kingdom of Morocco, and the Embassy series, Uniting People Through Musical Diplomacy. Emi Beecroft, have I got it correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Tell me a little bit about your family, your husband, and we're bringing together today, huh?
Yes. So I'm a caregiver to my husband, Alec. My husband served in the Navy, and he was unfortunately severely injured in a submarine crash where his submarine crashed into an uncharted undersea mountain. He suffered many injuries, including head, face, and neck fractures, TBI, seizures, and he has vagus nerve injury, which caused dysautonomia. And at that time, it wasn't recognized how severe the dysautonomia was. It's called malignant vasovagal syncope, and it means that when he faints or when he has syncope, he goes into full cardiac arrest. So he had 4 cardiac arrests on record, possibly a lot more. And the third time that happened, it was on New Year's Day, 2 days after he had a minor surgery in the middle of the night. And I used to be a physician in Japan, and I was an ACLS instructor. So luckily, I noticed the faint gurgling sound in the very dark room on New Year's Day, which could have easily been mistaken as snoring. So I immediately performed CPR. I called 911. 911 was on speakerphone, and I performed CPR, and I was able to bring him back. And because of his TBI, he also has seizure disorders. So even the specialists, cardiologists, neurologists, specialists were very puzzled for a long time. And around the same time, our son was in preschool, and he was diagnosed with life-threatening illness where he was hospitalized a lot, and he was in and out of the children's hospital. So each time he was rushed back to the ER and hospitalized, we all stayed in his hospital room together and slept on a fold-out chair in the room because I had to watch my husband, and we all had to be together. It's just the three of us. So it became very challenging. It became too challenging to pursue my own career. So I gave up being a clinician, and I was also a PhD cancer researcher. So I tried to contribute to medicine as much as I could. But in the end, it was very clear to me what my priority was. And I think a lot of people agree that family comes first. Mm-hmm. And for me, my mission in life became keeping my husband and my son alive, quite literally. So, and it wasn't until my husband had a 3.5-minute cardiac arrest in front of cardiologists when the full scope of his dysautonomia came to light. And that subsequently led to a pacemaker implantation. So he now has a pacemaker, a special kind of pacemaker. And shortly after that, I was injured on a plane while taking my husband to a specialist on a different island. And then I was also rear-ended twice while driving once on a highway where my car was totaled. So I suffered from a whiplash injury, and I was in a neck collar for a while, and I couldn't turn my neck for years. I couldn't drive for 3 years. And at that time, I was the only driver in the family, still am. So, and we both have very close-knit, loving families, but both of our families are across the Pacific Ocean. My family's in Japan, and my husband's family's in the Midwest. So we don't really have help around. And as a caregiver, I put my own well-being at the bottom of the priority list. It was just my mission to keep my family safe and alive. And after he had 4 cardiac arrests and multiple seizures, he was finally medically discharged from the Navy just last year. And we were introduced to the Wounded Warrior Project through the Navy Wounded Warrior Program, wonderful program. And since then, it's been a life-changing and life-saving experience, not only for my warrior husband, but also for myself as a caregiver and for our son, who's 9. And my husband, he was trained to take care of himself since he started his career at the Naval Academy. And I was trained old school in a surgical specialty in Japan. And then so we love to help other people. We're terrible at asking for help. So it took a very long time for us to realize that there are amazing group of people out there who could reach out to us and help us. And so one moment, there was a time when the Wounded Warrior staff asked me if I was okay. And she said, "Are you okay?" And as usual, I started talking about my husband and how he's doing, how he's medically doing. And then she said, "No, are you okay?" And then I paused for a long time and I said, "No, I'm not okay." Mm-hmm. And then I cried, and then I realized I was still in pain from my own injuries. I was emotionally, physically drained. And I also felt guilty for feeling so exhausted when my husband was fighting to stay alive every day. And our son was trying to stay as healthy as he could so that he could just be a normal kid and go to school. So even prior to the pandemic, the medical issues made it very challenging for us to leave the house to connect with others, to engage in anything fun activities. My husband and our son have a lot of medical emergencies, a lot of trips to the ER. So it makes it really challenging for us to participate in any outside in-person gatherings, unfortunately. And so since the start of the pandemic, the Wounded Warrior Project has offered a very wide range of virtual engagements, and not just for the veterans, but also for caregivers and even our son. And so we participated in a lot of arts and crafts, cooking and baking, trivia game events, and even got to visit museums and toured Europe, all from our living room on our computer virtually. So it's been very wonderful. And my husband was able to begin art and music therapy, which truly brings joy. The outreach specialists and the community care specialists through the neuro community care, they've been amazing. And I participated in caregiver only virtual gatherings where I got to connect with other caregivers from all over the country, and I'm in Hawaii. And I learned that as a caregiver, my own well-being is also very important. And I also learned that we are not alone, and I'm not alone. And I just want to say that I'm truly humbled by this whole experience, and I'm very honored to be able to care for my veteran husband while also receiving help and support from a very amazing group of people, many of them who are veterans themselves, who work for the Wounded Warrior Project. So, and I'd also like to thank the donors as well. And I want to let them know that they too are truly saving lives and improving quality of lives for veterans and their families, just like ours. So I truly appreciate this opportunity. I'm sorry I spoke for a very long time. I'm not used to interviews, but yes, so that is our story.
How are you doing now?
Yes, I'm doing okay. And since the pandemic, we've been homebound. We're scrambling for a lot of virtual opportunities, and I really appreciate being able to connect with amazing people, including you virtually. And I'm in Hawaii, and so this has been really amazing, different experience. And unfortunately, my husband's grandfather passed away from COVID-19 last December after a short fight, shortly before he was scheduled to receive the COVID vaccine. So we follow all the guidelines, we follow all the CDC and local government guidelines. And with my husband's health risk, for us, it was just a very natural decision to shelter at home.
Let me ask a couple of questions, because we come to the end of our time soon. But is there, when you are participating in some of these Wounded Warrior Project virtual get-togethers with other caregivers, is there a common denominator amongst the different caregivers?
Yes, and I think that I think the ability to be able to connect with other caregivers who are either going through similar experience or also feeling alone, isolated, helpless sometimes is very helpful. Just knowing that there are people out there who truly get it. It means a lot. And I think it's the same for veterans, that the veterans, my husband and others can meet other veterans and they get it. It's really difficult to find people like that in daily lives.
I've heard that from a previous caregiver that I talked to, this idea of getting it, that we understand the responsibility and the care and the love that you give the folks that you're working with. And in your case, your husband and your son, just remarkable. I gather that the services that are offered by the Wounded Warrior Project have meant a lot to you, huh?
Yes, it has truly been a life-saving experience for all of us. And when we thought we were at a loss and we were in a very dark tunnel, and we gradually learned that we are allowed to live life a little, allowed to have fun a little, and living every day is not just about trying to stay alive and trying to keep updated on all the medical issues and controlling medical conditions. So it's been very wonderful, and I truly appreciate it.
Well, from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, we are awfully privileged to say hello to you and to your husband and to your son. So this is a very positive experience for me personally with you, and also for our viewers around the country. So thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck to you and your family. We're just thrilled to be with you. Thank you, Emi.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. If you are in crisis or know someone who is, these resources offer immediate help. For information about This Is America in the World, visit our website, thisisamerica.net, or our YouTube channel, This Is America TV, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Underwriting for This Is America in the World is made possible by the Japan-America Society of Washington, D.C., the National Association for Children of Addiction, Faces and Voices of Recovery, the Forerunner Foundation, the Rotondaro Family Trust, the Republic of Uzbekistan, the Sultanate of Oman, the Kingdom of Morocco, and the Embassy series, Uniting People Through Musical Diplomacy.